We have a list of speakers that are going to come out and share what it has been like to be a family member of their loved ones who have been brutally murdered. So we're going to start off with the family of Angel Ramos, Antoinette Sadler.
Y'all ready?
Each person has come up. Could you say and spell your name for us? Spell it for us. Thank you.
My name is Antoinette Sadler, Antionettler, Saddler. I'm the sister of Angel Ramos, who was killed on January 23rd, 2017 by Vallejo police officer Jacobson. And so today we're here really to back the families. When we first moved to Vallejo, we had heard one story about Mario Romero, who was killed by Vallejo police. And I remember like having a conversation with some of the officers, just questioning them, like, why is their behavior the way that it is? And just wondering like how you can just kill somebody the way in which you do it, the overkill in the way in which you do it, how many times that you're doing it without any questions, with these assumptions of what you think these type of individuals are or what you think they're doing. I got into organizing against police brutality prior to my brother being killed. I was organizing with BLM. I was doing student organizing down in LA. I would always come home, tell my family about these different things that was going on. And I remember having a sign like in my car one day saying in my neck, because I would always tell people, you never know, like it could be somebody you know, it could be you, like you just never know. But never, as much as I was doing the work, as much as I was putting in the work, and never did I expect her to actually be somebody that I knew. And so, as many times as I said, like, it could hit your front porch, it literally hit my porch at my mom's house, and happened to my family. And so, when I just kept hearing all these stories continuously with Vallejo police just shoot it time and time again, like all these people of color, black men, brown men, every single time thereafter my brother being killed, I knew like I had to reach out to these families. And it's not a family that you want to become a part of, but it's a family that you have to become a part of, because in the beginning of the days, people say that they're there, but really like 100%, the only people that's been here through and through is all of these other, like all the family that's standing behind me, all of our own family that is there for us. We're the voice that, that has to speak out, because our loved ones can't speak no more. And so we're here to set our demands. As even though the DA already ruled like my brother's case justified, I'm still here yelling justice for Angel Ramos. I'm still yelling that if they want to, they can still overturn these decisions. They can still do what they need to do. But we know, and the reason why we know that we need to be here at the DA's office is it's evident that she's biased. She's had a profile picture of a Blue Lives Matter flag. So we know the type of individual that we're working with. And so that's why we're here to, as many times as she may make these decisions, and on many cases she hasn't even made the decision, I think more than likely we know where it's going to head, but we're here to say, like, we're going to keep making noise, and we're going to keep yelling out justice for our loved ones, and we're going to keep saying, like, they deserve justice. They don't deserve to be where they're at. Thanksgiving is in 2 days, 3 days. My little brother should be at the Thanksgiving table with me. Say his name, Angel Ramos. Say his name, Angel Ramos. Say his name, Angel Ramos.
Hello, my name is Corey McCoy. I'm Corey McCoy. I'm the older brother of Willie McCoy, whose life was taken earlier this year by 6 Vallejo police officers. As I look around behind me, I see the families and friends of a club that nobody wants to be in. And that club is families that have lost loved ones to police violence. In 2018, February 13th, Officer Ryan McMahon murdered Rennell Foster. They became part of that club that night, the Foster family. A little less than a year later, on February 9th, 2019, Ryan McMahon took part in the execution of my younger brother. Why he was still on the street is for you to ask. Those of you that know the way the city of Vallejo, the city government of Vallejo, and their police department operate, we know that they are all about the Vallejo Pledge of Blue, protect the officer at all costs. Because the night Rennell Foster was murdered, go back and look at the press releases that were released. Go back and look at the police report, the redacted, that was issued out. It does not correspond with the video evidence. You can look for yourself. I challenge anyone to go look at the body cam footage and deny that Rennell Foster was not murdered by Ryan McMahon. We are asking Christina Abrams to stop stalling. It's been 8 months. Anyone can look at the video and call it what it is. We're not asking you for any favors. We're not asking you to feel sorry or take compassion. Do what's right by the law and prosecute this officer and send him to jail where he belongs. Thank you.
My name is Erin Reason. I'm the sister of Eric Reason. Second was killed by Officer Virgil Thomas. November 2th, shot down over this spot. I need somebody to get justice for my brother. Please, we need justice. It's gotta stop. This stuff gotta stop. Say his name.
Eric Reason!
Say his name.
Eric Reason!
Say his name.
Eric Reason!
Hi, I'm Monique Bennett, Eric Reason's first cousin. I just came here to really support him, but everybody else, because we're all in the same predicament, in the same situation. I just feel like it's the holidays, and it's so messed up because his life was taken away from his kids, from his family, and it's like we can't replace him. We can't bring him back. Right now, I'm just asking for justice. That's all I want. You know, I just want to support everybody. I can't really talk good right now. My nerves are bad. But I just want everybody to know that I feel where everybody's coming from, and we all need justice. And we all need support at this time right now, because this needs to stop. It's ridiculous. But thank you guys.
My name is Paula McGowan. I'm the mother of Rennell Foster. For those who don't know, my son Rennell Foster was brutally murdered on February 13th of 2018 by police officer Ryan McMahon for riding his bike without a headlight. The same officer that was involved in the killing of Willie McCoy. How do you allow the same officer to still continue to work Prisoner Abrams? Why haven't you made your announcement yet? And why do you have my son's file on your desk, just looking at it like it don't mean anything to you? So clearly you don't care. The city of Vallejo needs a serious oversight. They really have to start holding these officers accountable. We are here today to demand that you announce your ruling. It's about to be going on 2 years. And that's excuse my language, that's a damn shame. It's inhuman and unjust. The system is set up to fail us instead of helping us. We all have suffered enough. And it's time for Ryan McMahon to be charged. He is guilty. And if you take time to look at the real video, you will see that murder is murder. And if you don't do something about this, you are just as guilty as he is. And all these lives that were stolen, their blood is on your hands. If your child would have been, if it was your child, he would have been charged. Even if it was excuse me, let me say it again. If it was your child, he would have been charged. Even if it was someone that was not a police officer, that person would have been in jail a long time ago. So stop holding these officers at a higher standard. Prisoner Abrams, just do your job. We are so tired of these senseless killings, and we will not stand for this any longer. Justice delayed is justice denied. Transparency don't mean nothing, and I mean nothing, without accountability. No justice,
No peace.
I stand in solidarity with all the families here today.
Amen.
Say his name!
My name is Angela Sullivan. I'm Rynell's aunt. He was murdered February 13th again, 2018 by Officer Ryan McMahon. 361 days later, Ryan's hand was involved in the murder and execution of Willie McCoy. Had Karishna Abrams done her job a year before them 360 days hit, Willie McCoy would not be dead. And if he would have been, Ryan McMahon would have been one less hand involved in that. We've been in Vallejo 34 years. My mother has 42 grandchildren, 30 plus great-grandchildren. 6 boys and 2 girls. She lived to be 76 years old. All of her children and grandchildren walking and breathing and talking up until Ryan McMahon murdered Rynell. My mother died 4.5 months later from a broken heart. She sat on the side of the bed for 22 hours of the day, from the day we buried him to the day she died. All she did was ate, went to the bathroom, and cried for my son, our son, to come back to that room one more time. Not only has they killed the young men that they've murdered, but they're killing families. We have children that are suffering from PTSD, having nightmares, crying, begging, and asking us, who do we call for help? I'm not asking Karishna for nothing, I'm demanding.
Okay.
Get up off this paperwork. You got until Monday morning. You got until Monday morning. You need to be the one person that turns this whole situation around. You have colleagues that's ready to back you, but they scared of that blue shield. Stand up against it. We can break it down. We're gonna break it down. Rynell was murdered. This man used 3 weapons in a matter of minutes. A taser, a flashlight, and a gun. This young man was on his hands and knees, crawling away from this man when he decided at the end to shoot him. If you can stomach the video, watch it. It's narrated. You know you're watching the right video when you see the narration. It's telling you step by step what's going on as you're looking at it. Murder is murder. And if she don't give him up, we coming for them all. We coming for them all.
What do we want?
Let's go for the
When do we want it? Now! We don't get it!
Shut it down!
We don't get it!
Shut it down!
I voted for you, lady. You got my vote. I went out and did my civil duty. And this ain't what I voted for. This not what my tax dollar paying for. You gonna show up for the people or you will be removed. Say his name.
Rynell Foster!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Justice delayed. Justice denied. Transparency ain't nothing without accountability.
I think no truer words, especially from John Burris, no truer words have been said today other than murder is murder, regardless of who does it. If a police officer does it, or if a police officer on duty or off duty, and you kill someone like has taken here with these various families, it's just murder. And the prosecution has a duty to prosecute these people for criminal conduct. And it's shocking to me that after all these months, that nothing has been done as a result of Mr. Foster's killing. His shooting was unconscionable. A man was walking away or trying to get away, and he's shot in the back of the head. And of course, you know Willie McCoy. He's asleep, and he's awakened and shot and murdered before he even had a chance to feel with his consciousness as to where he was. Execution, murder, is the most despicable thing one can imagine. These officers have to be prosecuted for. And more recently with Eric Reason, an off-duty police officer takes it upon himself to get into an incident, a very, very minor event. All the kind of events that all of us get into every day about parking. Move your car, move the car this way. You don't wind up killing the person. And more significantly, chasing that person down the street and killing them. Now, if it wasn't a police officer, that man would be in jail right now.
Yes.
Charged with murder.
Yes.
Because that's what it was. It's like this, here we are here, that man over there, you chase that man, and from this distance you shoot him down in the back of the head, a defenseless person. That's murder.
Yes.
And so that's the shocking part of all of this. And that's why we're here. We have to continue to protest, to make this DA uncomfortable, to let her know, and all DAs know, that you're not going to consistently get away with not holding police officers accountable when they shoot and kill young people or old people without just cause. And so I'm here to support these families. And you all know, and many of you don't know, but we are in civil cases. But that's not enough. It's just not enough that we can do there. What's more importantly, the officers themselves pay no consequences in a civil case. The city represents them. They pay the attorney fees for them. And if a case is rendered with a judgment, they don't have to pay. And so nothing happens to them. They don't lose their job, they don't get disciplined, there's no price to pay. And so it's for us to say there has to be a price. You cannot shoot, kill unconscionably and get away with it with no consequences. So we're here today to demand, to protest, to let it be known that these officers need to be prosecuted, and we're not going to accept it as a way of life. That's just how it is. We have time. They've taken more time than is necessary. But we will not go away until justice is done. In each one of these cases, the officer should be prosecuted. And that's from an objectively reasonable analysis that I see in terms of the facts. But there's no basis for the shootings that took place, and certainly given the nature in which they occurred, it was done with malice. It was done with a reckless disregard for the safety and the life of those people, or the individuals. And certainly in the case of Ronell Foster, that case came about as so-called riding a bicycle. No person riding a bicycle should wind up dead 10 minutes later. No person who is involved in a minor traffic event should wind up being shot down like a crazed person 30 years later, chased him down. That should not happen. And of course, if you are asleep in your car, or unconscious, semi-conscious or not, you should not be awakened and immediately receive a barrage of shots. There was no opportunity for this man to acknowledge where he was. He was awakened. Any move he made, none of it could have been threatening. And 6 officers shot. Countless shots.
55 shots from 3.5.
That should not stand. And so this family, all these families, rightfully should be here protesting and telling the public officials we will not accept it under no circumstances, regardless of who you hire, regardless of the change. You have a responsibility to hold these officers accountable, and the DA has a responsibility to prosecute these officers, and that's what we're demanding right now. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Deandra Foster. I'm the sister of Roniel Foster. I just simply have a message to Krishna Abrams. These aren't murderers that you're killing. These aren't rapists that you're killing. You are killing these young men down the street like they're dogs. It is not written anywhere that you cannot ride your bicycle. It is not written anywhere that you cannot get into a fist fight amongst your own family. It is not written anywhere that you cannot fall asleep in your own vehicle. These men were simply minding their own business. They weren't doing harm to anyone, not even themselves. And your officers took it upon themselves to take their lives. I say to you, Krishna, if you're not going to do anything about these officers, then maybe it's time that you removed as well. Murder is murder, and wrong is wrong. And it's time that it stops now.
We're here today to demand that Krishna Abrams does the right thing. She had that opportunity last year when she decided not to prosecute the officer that murdered Angel Ramos while he was unarmed. This is her opportunity to do the right thing for Roniel Foster. She's been sitting on this file for months. We talked to her in March and she told us she would have a decision within 90 days. We're almost in December. This family is suffering every day waiting to find out if they're going to get justice or if they're going to be denied like everybody else. Roniel was crawling. He was face down. He was shot in the back and in the back of the head. If I did that to somebody, I would be under the jail with no bail. If any of us did that to a man, we would be in jail, prosecuted for murder. This officer is still on the streets. Even after the second murder that he was involved with, he's still on the streets. We can't even call the police in Vallejo because we're terrified a murderer is going to come and kill us because somebody's over nothing. Exactly. A black and brown person can't utilize the police in Vallejo because they're so afraid that they might be murdered because they're mistaken for having a light out on their bike. It's outrageous and it's been going on far too long. And then just 2 weeks ago, Eric Reason shot down like an animal by an off-duty police officer, shot in the back of the head from 50 feet. We don't shoot people in the back of the head. When somebody gets shot in the back of the head, somebody needs to be in prison. Eric Reason was no danger to anybody. He was running away, screaming for help. How do you shoot a man down in the back of the head while he's screaming for help? And then you have the nerve to say that you were afraid. No, we're afraid of you, Officer Thomas. We're afraid of all of the officers that feel like it's okay to shoot people in the back. We're not okay with the district attorney who thinks it's okay to shoot people in the back. And on top of that, the officers that are investigating the Reason murder were shown allowing the officer that just killed Eric to stand over him, take photographs, corrupt the crime scene. And that's not the first time this happened. That also happened during the murder of Anton Barrett, when that officer was taking his own evidence photographs that were then used to exonerate him for that murder. We have a long history of these problems in Vallejo. We need outside investigation in the Reason murder. This man was murdered. Vallejo police has already put out a public statement where they didn't bother to mention that Eric was shot in the back of the head. Well, we would have liked to know that. The community would have liked to know that. I shouldn't have to, as an attorney, come out and correct the public record. I shouldn't have to say I had to go look at the back of his head myself to get that information out. The public has the right to know what our law enforcement, our taxpayer dollars are doing, and they shouldn't be shooting down the sons of Vallejo. We're not going to tolerate this anymore, and we're not going anywhere.
No
right.
more. No more.
No more.
No more.
No more.
361 days in between kills. Officer Ryan McMahon is a menace to our streets. He has to go today. He's still eating. He's still earning a paycheck. Roniel can't go to work. Eric can't go to work. All the kids can't eat by their daddy's hands no more. This has to stop. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. Commissioner Abrams, you have until Monday to respond to the Foster family.
To the community.
So this is Giovanni Wilson. This is the nephew of Angel Ramos, and was present at the time that he was killed.
Hi, my name is Giovanni Wilson. I am the nephew of Angel Rico Ramos. Angel Ramos, my uncle, he was shot right in front of me. All the officers knew I was right there. They saw me standing in front of the door, but they shot him anyway. That could have been me. I could have been shot, but they directly shot him. They knew he didn't have a knife. They saw him handless. They didn't even give him a chance. They didn't even give him a chance to say, please don't shoot me. They shot him right then. They didn't even say hands up. Jacobson, he knew my uncle had no weapon in his hand, but he still chose to shoot him. Thank you.
We also want to say the name of Willie McCoy. Say his name.
Willie McCoy!
Say his name.
Willie McCoy!
Say his name.
Willie McCoy!
Mario Romero.
Say his name.
Mario Romero!
Say his name.
Mario Romero!
Say his name.
Mario Romero!
Ronell Foster!
Ronell Foster!
Say his name!
Ronell Foster!
Ronell Foster!
Ronell Foster!
Say his name!
Ronell Foster!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
Ryan McMahon has got to go!
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 Hey ho, he got to go!
Hey ho, he's got to go!
BPD are murderers!
BPD are murderers!
So thank you for coming out. You can see that we ain't going away. All violence is state violence, and we are here until somebody pays for the crimes that they've committed, the murders that they've committed, and that the Vallejo Police Department continues to commit. So we'll be back. We'll be back.
We're actually getting ready to make a silent protest. We're going to walk upstairs very orderly, very quietly. Anybody who wants to join us is welcome to. We're going to request a meeting with the DA, with her secretary, because we already know she's unavailable. So again, if you join us in the building, all we ask is that you are civil and orderly. They have business going in the building, and we don't want to disrupt any of that. Thank you. Office of the District Attorney, County of Vallejo. Abraham Krishna, I voted for her, and now we're demanding that she releases the report for the murder of our son, Ronell D'Angelo Foster. It's been 22 months, and we're tired of waiting. We demand justice. We demand Ryan McMahon be fired. So we're going to go and accountability. Speak to the secretary and see if we can get an appointment to see what her decision is going to be. So here goes. We have to wait our turn. Okay, she's doing her business. Let her do her business. You step it on. Let her do her business. We're not going to interfere with nobody business.
I know they're waiting for some, so on Honeychurch, yeah. One of your pins also. Sorry, thank you. Thanks. appreciate it. Thank you.
I apologize now for you being right in the middle of this. I really do. Hi, baby.
It's Krishna Abrams now. She's not here today. I'm the mother of Ronell Foster. This is his auntie, mother, Angela.
Yeah, Angela Sullivan and
we
Paula
are here.
McGowan.
Angela,
Write her name down.
Paula McGowan, McGowan.
Sullivan, Sullivan.
Mothers of Ronell Foster. We are here to see if she's not in, can we make an appointment to see and speak with her?
As soon as possible.
The first available.
Before Monday.
It's 415-571-1106.
So what I'll do is mention the calendar, and I'll call you, Monica.
Okay, Monica.
And you'll call for me, and we'll schedule that.
Okay. You're just not telling me that. Because we'll be back.
I spoke to her in July. I spoke to her in July on the phone. And she told me to give her about 30 days. And in March, she told one of our attorneys, Melissa Knowles, to give her 90 days. We haven't heard from her. So,
will it be before Monday?
I know the holidays is coming up. So at least by Monday, Tuesday, for sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I mean,
do you have a card?
This is what they do at the district attorney's office. Give you
Because I'll be calling back on Monday.
And we'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back if we don't hear from her.
Crooked.
I'm going to give you my direct line.
All right.
Can you give her one as well?
Justice for all.
Tell Krishna that we was here. I'm sure she knows that.
Yeah, she knows. She watching.
I'm sure she knows.
She's sitting somewhere watching right now.
Tell her we'll be back.
Thank you very much.
We ain't going nowhere.
Well, we're not going nowhere.
Yeah, we're not going nowhere. We'll be back. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we were not able to see. We were not quiet, please. Shh, please. We need order. We came up to see if we can get a 5 or 10 minute talk to with Karishna Abrams, but of course she's not available. Her secretary was very cordial. Ms. Monica came out, gave us some information and a direct line to her, and promised us some results by Monday. We'll hear from somebody or we'll be back. I'm not calling nobody no more. This ain't about no more phone calls. It's time to show up. And if necessary, show out.
Show out.
Right. This sign says to seek and do justice.
For all.
Integrity matters. Karishna Abrams, it's time for you to have some integrity. Stand up and do what's right, what's just, and what's fair. I thank everybody for their time and their presence. Now let's leave this building in a very orderly fashion. Thank you.
Amen.
Right.
Where do you live?
God bless.